goodbye. No, we're still here, everybody. Welcome to our corner of the side of baseball. This is 60 feet 6 inches. WHIT, COMMISH, back into it, baby.
What's going on? It's early, man.
It is early.
I forgot to hit the record button on the recording thing, but we're good. We're good now.
It's an early bird show today.
We're good now. You know, it is an early bird show.
It is.
I don't know how many people will be listening or watching this early bird show.
Everybody who's going to work be listening and watching the show, but don't watch and drive at the same time.
But you can always watch afterwards too.
You can.
Or listen afterwards because you are on.
We are on Spotify. We are on Apple Podcast, YouTube. You can find us everywhere.
That's right. YouTube Live today.
That's right. YouTube Live. Welcome, everybody, back to the show. 60 feet 6 inches. Got the first week or first at least 10 games, Commish, through the season so far. I got to say, it's very up and down. It's tough to say, who's going to be on top, who's going to be on bottom, But
I don't. You think?
Well, the first week was a little surprising for me. The Miami Marlins did get their first win, though. And so did the Chicago White Sox.
Well, we sort of both knew that they were going to both be. I mean, Miami doesn't have Alcantara, right?
Yeah. No way.
Is it Alcantara? Alcantara.
He's coming back from Tommy John.
Yeah.
And speaking of Tommy John, there is a epidemic, which I'm going to dive headfirst into that. But it's been a pretty, I would say, exciting week. The season, the off season is so slow, and then as the season starts, it kind of starts to ramp up, and it gets away from you pretty quick. I mean, we're already through 12 games. Most all teams played 11, 12 games.
Yeah, man, only 150 more.
Only 150 more. But how's your week been? Good?
Yeah, busy.
Yeah,
but that's okay. Busy.
Yeah.
No, we're over here at the studios of Complete Game Broadcasting. So the new class started up again this April, and so that started this week. And we have an afternoon class, which is great because I can get out of here around 4:30.
There you go.
Been playing myself a little bit of pickleball.
Pickleball.
I know, man. You want to hear a quick funny story? This has nothing to do with baseball, but I like, okay.
We like jokes around here.
I'm mid-50s, right?
Yeah.
So my son, who's 21, has a friend who's been playing pickleball for a while. And this kid's probably 6'2", fast as lightning. And when I first started playing, I wanted to see how good I was.
Yeah.
So I wanted to try to play singles with him, and he waxed me. I mean, like 11-1, 11-0 or something like that, right? Ouch. That's when I first started. That was back in October.
Uh-oh, prodigy.
So here I come, right? I'm like, last week, I'm like, I'm ready. I'm ready for a rematch.
Yeah.
And he's laughing. I'm like, come on, I'm ready. First game, beats me 11-4. We played best out of 3. Mm-hmm. Smoked him the last 2 games.
Oh.
The commish beat the 21-year-old stud in singles. So, yeah.
Everybody hear that? So if you want to play commission pickleball, I'm going to put some money on commish.
Well, not only that, but the game's great for all ages.
Yeah, that's awesome, man.
So, yeah. So we're playing.
How does it make your body feel afterwards? You feel any soreness or anything?
When you first start playing,
it's
like, if you go a couple days in a row, it's like, ooh, my hammies.
Right. And now you're like secretariat. You can
now I'm like, I'm good.
Right.
So, yeah. But I play a lot.
Awesome. Yeah.
Playing a little league with Michelle. So it's all good.
That's good, man. It's keeping you in shape and everything.
Let's get back to the real game, baseball.
But, the way that the season's going, I mean, you have a lot of already you could see a lot of teams that are starting to find their rhythm and morale in the clubhouse, because me, Commish, I believe that a good clubhouse, a healthy clubhouse, I should say, is way more valuable than talent. I mean, the talent is what wins you games, but a good clubhouse is what gets everybody kind of, less anxious. Everybody's a little loosey-goosey, can play the game that they love,
I mean, come on.
Is that a hot take? I don't think
so. Because you know what? Good talent equals wins, which equals good clubhouse.
There we go. I like that. Thank you, Commissioner.
I mean,
there we go.
It's all about winning.
It is. It is. Yes, it is. But jumping right into the show, episode 21. God,
is it really?
Yes.
Good job, WHIT.
We're legal.
You got some. What do you mean you're legal?
We're legal to drink.
Oh.
60 feet is 21.
Oh, today. We should do that one night. 60 feet 6 inches.
I like that.
The what do we call it?
World Series
the
edition.
late evening edition.
The late show.
We can have some beverages.
Exactly. Right. Exactly. So, And that's what happens when you don't turn off your phone whenever the show's going on.
Oh, I didn't hear it. You're good.
But
speaking of which, I think WHIT owes me a beverage.
Yes, I do. I do owe you a beer. Yep.
I sort of tricked you on that, though. I forget what that was. Oh, was it the Arizona Clemson game?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And you said, I guarantee you Clemson will not lose tonight.
I think it was like by 12 or something like that.
No, whatever. But you're like, oh, okay.
I got it.
Well, the problem was they weren't playing that night.
Oh, yeah.
Remember?
That's right. Yeah,
it's an automatic win.
I do owe you a beer. That's right.
I'll
make sure I catch up with you. But yeah, we'll do. We're gonna do a later show during the off season, or not the off season, the postseason, and then we're gonna do a couple World Series shows and stuff like that. So everybody stay tuned.
We're serious. You better have more shows. I mean, you're talking World Series shows already?
Oh, yeah.
Dude, you got a lot more shows to go before that.
That's okay. We got 150.
Trying to get WHIT to go a little bit more often.
I know.
Not once a month.
I know. I'm sorry, everybody.
You know what? Once every 2 weeks. We could do this remote,
We can do this every 2 weeks. We can. We're going to try.
You could set it up at home, and I can chime you in.
Oh, yeah. That sounds good. Yeah. But jumping back into it, my favorite part of the show, Commish, is on this day in baseball history, right? So, in this day in baseball history, 1947, okay? And I'm almost positive that I've done this before, but that's okay. I mean, we like reruns around here, So, in one of the most significant moments in baseball history, Jackie Robinson becomes the first black player of the 20th century to sign a major league contract. Right, it was very significant. April 15th or 19th, everybody wears, number 42 to commemorate Jackie Robinson and what he gave to the game. He agrees to a one-year deal with the Brooklyn Dodgers, whose general manager at the time, Branch Rickey, personally recruited Robinson from the Negro Leagues, from the Kansas City Monarchs, greats like Buck O'Neil, Satchel Paige, and a lot of other greats like the Grays, like Josh Gibson.
That's who I was trying to think of. He was like in the Negro Leagues, wasn't he like home run king or whatever?
Yes. One of what Satchel Paige and Willie Mays mentioned him being the most powerful hitter they've ever seen. Even over guys like Jimmy Fox, Double X, and Babe Ruth, like power guys, But as the season goes along, we start to commemorate certain things like, there were a lot of things that went around baseball anniversaries, like Hank Aaron's 50th anniversary of hitting 715. That's a really good commemoration. And then also, them going to the field and Hank Aaron's widow accepting an award. And, of course, like that, Acuna got his Hank Aaron award the same weekend, which was fantastic.
That's great, but he needs to get his Hank Aaron thing on. He's a little bit slow moving right now.
He had a good game last night. That's right. But you know what I like, Commish? Those jackets that the Braves are wearing. Have you seen those? Those like navyish light blue. I like those.
Yeah, they're sweet.
Those are good. Like team jackets and everything.
So did you hear about the when Hank hit his 715th? You know who caught the ball? Bullpen. Tom House.
Tom House.
So the way they did it, this was a sort of interesting story. The bullpen knew that Hank was probably going to hit one in the bullpen area because it's a pretty big bullpen over in left field.
Right.
So they drew straws to have little plots of land where each person stood. So I think he was like the second shortest straw. So he got like pretty late draw on where he stood. But then one of the guys wanted to trade with him. His spot. So he traded spots with somebody. So that's how he got the ball.
That's awesome. And, I think we've talked about this before in previous shows, probably like one of the first shows we ever did. Al Downing, the pitcher with the Dodgers, gave it up. His number is also 44.
Oh, really? Didn't know that.
Yeah. And then, and you have, because it was against the Dodgers, Commish, you had, and you also had technical difficulties. You also had Milo Hamilton that made the call for TBS, at the time. Or however, I think it was TBS, right? No, I don't think Ted Turner was around. No, not yet.
I'm not sure.
But anyway, however, it was broadcast
radio,
in Georgia. Yeah. And there's two different, both fantastic calls, but just two different calls from two Ford Frick Award winners, Milo Hamilton and then Vince Scully, and just two great moments that we can actually have both in the same event, which I think that's really significant also. You have two great calls with two great teams, a legendary Vince Scully and a legend with Milo Hamilton. But I prefer, in my opinion, the Milo Hamilton call. But that's just me, Commish. What do you think? What do you like better?
I mean, I hear the Milo Hamilton call. I mean, that's what I remember of, right?
Yeah.
So that's the one that's always played.
Right.
And being an Atlanta Braves fan,
of course.
You have to go with that.
Yeah. And if anybody hasn't really taken time to hear the Vince Scully call, or just haven't heard it in a long time, go and listen to it. You can find it. Very, very just like Field of Dreams-esque kind of feel. Where you just get such a good feeling on such a moment that that Vince Scully kind of honed you in on it, and then Milo Hamilton's just going nuts because, we all in Atlanta, we all knew it was going to happen eventually. It's just Milo just made the perfect call. Not too excited, but whenever he says, there's a new home run king and his name is Henry Aaron, and then Vince Scully talks about the standing ovation that Hank Aaron's getting in the stadium, about how a black man is getting a standing ovation in such a southern state of Georgia, really good for the organization, But yeah, I mean, a lot of anniversaries coming up. I'll tell you today, all around MLB, Commish, Jackson Holliday's getting his first taste of the MLB today. They brought his tail up last night.
Oriole, right?
Yep.
Man, they're loaded.
They are. You know why they brought him up? Have you seen the Yankees?
It's okay.
Yankees are leading the division right now.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. I still like the Orioles. They remind me a lot of the Braves.
Yes. Very young, but good organization. They just sold the team. The previous owner, Angelos, rest in peace. He just passed away, the oldest of the previous owners before they sold it to the billionaire group of, was it Vanguard? BlackRock, one of those guys. But Jackson Holliday is going to come up, and which I thought he was going to make the roster at spring training, but, maybe sometimes a little bit of service manipulation. But either way, they're bringing him up. Maybe they could squeeze him at second. I think Gunnar Henderson's going to be playing short, but, who knows? We can move him around,
So you were saying that you were surprised on some of the beginning stuff, right?
Yeah.
Who are you surprised about? Detroit?
I was actually surprised about, Detroit.
In America, I'm not surprised about anything in the National League, are you?
No, because we see that so much, and we already know who's going to be. There's just a handful of teams that we know that are going to be at top, and then usually the
Central's interesting, right? I think everybody's within. It's only been 12 games.
It's only been 12 games, right?
Who's your favorite in that division? Who do you like?
I thought I liked the Brewers, but until Brandon Woodruff went down, and then them losing Corbin Burns to the Orioles, I thought they'd be okay. But I'm going to go St. Louis.
Really?
Yeah. Because Sonny Gray just came back, pitched fantastic last night. But
I like Cincinnati.
You know what? Yeah. Let me change my answer. Yes.
I just like the young.
Because Ellie De La Cruz hitting a home run, then hitting the inside of the park home run.
They have a lot of young guys.
Yes, they do. Yeah. Should have re-signed Joey Votto. For the morale reasons. The morale reasons.
No.
Got to have that kind of leader in the clubhouse. Guy that's just loosey-goosey and everything, grows a beard and then shaves it. But that's all right. He's in his hometown. He was somewhere, I think I predicted where he was going to go, Toronto. He went to Toronto. But he be hurt right now. He's actually hurt. But, what do you think?
What do I think?
Yeah.
I like the Reds.
Yeah.
Are you talking about divisions?
Divisions.
Obviously Dodgers, right? Man, you cannot look at the Atlanta Braves 1 through 9 lineup and compare anybody with it.
No, and the depth.
And it's crazy. If those that had questions about Kelnick during spring training, all that's out.
Bye-bye.
And you know what? It's funny. The other night, I don't know if you saw it, WHIT, but they showed his swing from last year to this year.
I did.
And you could tell that, okay, they've changed it completely. So he had to adjust during the spring. That's why he wouldn't hit. And, man, it looks smooth and long not like a quick turn, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he's showing it. And I'll tell you what, he's got a gun of an arm. Oh, my
gosh. Doesn't he have a hose piece? I thought he got that guy at home the other night against the
Mets.
yeah.
He missed him. But, man, it was on there. Mm-hmm. And you bring in Adam Duvall. He hasn't had a chance to scratch the lineup because how do you take Kelnick out?
Right.
And how do you take the big bear who's been crushing the ball, Marcelo Zuna, out
that man is hot.
as a DH?
That man is hot. Hot.
And, I mean, you're talking the Braves are doing that. Ozzy's hot. Arcia's hot. And you're doing this without your all-star catcher who's out.
Mm-hmm.
You're doing this without really Acuna and Riley getting rolling yet. Whew. Scary team.
I know. And not to mention, RC's been making some pretty good plays at short, too. He's got a clean glove. And his confidence that's around the infield, him and Ozzy, him and Riley and Olsen, they work pretty well together.
Yeah, he's just got to quit chirping at the Phillies.
I agree. Yes. Acuna was like, hey, come here, man. Come over here. Don't be doing that. But we had talked about this last show, Commish, about some guys that didn't get signed. Like Snell ended up going to the Giants. Matt Chapman ended up going to the Giants, too. And then Jordan Montgomery signs a 1-year deal, $25 million, with the Arizona Diamondbacks. Very random, in my opinion.
Ooh.
The team that he beat in the World Series last year.
Diamondbacks are pretty loaded with pitching.
Yeah.
I mean, I know we're going to talk fantasy later, so I'll hold off on that.
Yeah, I got my fantasy guys. But they got good offense. That's what supplements that, And the way that Ketel Marte can find a hole, he hits the ball anywhere where it's thrown. I mean, down the left field line, right field line, he'll go dead center if he needs to in the gap. Like I'm pretty impressed by them. It doesn't surprise me that they made the World Series last year. But it's tough to win the whole thing. But that definitely shows why they're definitely a playoff contender. I would agree with you.
I think it's so good for baseball. The young teams that are coming through and how much energy and passion these young guys are playing with.
Especially against the Dodgers. They need to beat the Dodgers.
Well, whatever. I mean, you're not going to kick the Dodgers out of the playoffs. They're going to be there.
No, they won't be.
Yeah. What, one team gets a bye, right? Isn't that how,
one
or
team.
Two? One
two
team.
Teams. American League and National League division.
Is that how it works, two?
The most wins in each league. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So one team from the National League.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay, I'm hoping, this is what I'm hoping for. I'm hoping for the Dodgers to have a better record than the Braves by one game.
Oh, one game. Okay.
Why would I say that, Whit?
Maybe because
that means the Dodgers would get the bye and not us.
They would get the bye. Well, I'm cool with that because the bye crushed Atlanta last year.
It's crushing every team in the last 3 or 4 years.
You win the division. You win the division, and you're going to take a week off.
Right.
How does that work?
Not in baseball. That's not a good thing for baseball.
No, it's not.
In football, that's different.
Yeah.
Beating up your body. In baseball, it's the consistency that matters.
It's a timing thing. You got to be there. You got to be there consistently. You have to see pitching. You have to be able to feel the game itself. If you're not, then you can't just go home for a couple of days and then act like you have off season, then come out, ramp it up again. You can't do that. You can't. Your mind is in it. Your body is in it. Your eyes themselves. Whenever you're seeing the pitch, you got to be on time. It's just like a perfect synchronized song.
So we have all these answers, right?
Yeah.
Do we have an answer for what's going on with MLB pitchers right now?
Well, I think Tony Clark of the Players Association, he's got a lot to say. But, there's a lot of pitchers that have completely started to go down. You have, I've got them right here, Commish. You got at least 6 or 7 guys. Look at this. So, in the last week, Commish, these guys have gone down. In the last week, this week, I'm not talking about months ago, offseason, this week, Shane Bieber, Yuri Perez, Jackson Kowar, Jonathan Loaisiga, Spencer Strider, and guess what? Now, Framber Valdez. All going down with either elbow soreness, UCL tears, or some kind of UCL surgery that they need to get done. So, after Spencer Strider got hurt Tony Clark made a statement. You know, he's the executive director of the, Players Association, represents the players. So obviously during the time of the lockout, they were trying to negotiate this, that, trying to get as less rules changed as possible, but they also wanted to play. They didn't want to be locked out forever. So I guarantee you there were some things that they said, okay, fine, just put it in there. We just want to play. And one of those was the pitch clock. Now, this is my opinion itself. It's not, this may be a hot take. I don't know. Doesn't matter. But the point is these pitchers, as they're getting through innings, through batters, or through hitters, I should say, they're taking less time to just relax, throw. Now it's ramp up, look at the batter, throw. Ramp up, look at the batter, throw. So a lot of these quick body movements, in my opinion, could put them in jeopardy as far as their body, because they're not having any time in between strikes or balls to rest. I'm not saying take 2 minutes, So
you're blaming it on pitch clock?
I listen to what Tony Clark says. I think this is the way that I'm thinking, okay? He said, despite unanimous player opposition and significant concerns regarding health and safety, the commissioner's office reduced the length of pitch clock last December, just one season removed from opposing the most significant rule change in decades. Since then, our concerns about the health impacts of reduced recovery time have only intensified. The league's unwillingness thus far to acknowledge or study the effects of these profound changes is an unprecedented threat to our game and its most valuable asset, the players. So it's a sensitive topic only because it may be a hot take.
So
and they think that
it is a hot take, right? And you haven't had enough time to gather data on this to determine what an effect it would have on the pitch clock. Now, let's go to something I saw this week from Dr. Andrews.
Okay.
Who has done, he's the master of Tommy John surgery, right?
Right.
He said 10 years ago that the majority of his Tommy John surgeries were done on high school kids. And he said now it's slowly changing and getting more and more on the college level and the pro level. And he mentions it's because people are throwing more in their mid 90s and high 90s, and a ligament can't withstand that for that length of period. So, and he doesn't know a solution, because what is it that kids are doing now to try to get noticed by colleges is how fast they can throw the ball.
Throw ched.
Right? And so over time, he thinks it's catching up to where he's seeing a lot of injuries coming on the college level and pro level more. He's doing more surgeries on that side.
So I saw,
and I don't see how you can change anything with that.
You're absolutely right. I saw a study. So from 2012 up to now, the average fastball in 2012 was 92.5. Now the average fastball is 94. Okay, so last season, 2023, 34.2% of pitchers to appear in an MLB game in 2023 have all had a Tommy John.
Where did they average on their fastballs? That'd be interesting to know.
It would.
To know if that's the strain of throwing that fastball. It's like impossible for, and that's what he was saying. Dr. Andrews said it's impossible for the ligament in the elbow to keep that going.
Stay stable. Right, exactly. Now, in these pitchers' case that we talked about, other than I would single out Spencer Strider only because this could be something, maybe not. I believe his arm angle change when he's coming down
on a curveball.
That
sure. I mean, because you're changing, right?
Your arm slot, right? Exactly. But I don't know what kind of epidemic this is, but I mean, you have, and these are all guys. These are not like bullpen guys. These are all guys that are in the rotation and top guys, especially. I mean, Yuri Perez.
That's a good point too, right?
Yes.
So it's the consistency of throwing so much.
Exactly. That's right. Exactly. So Maybe there needs to be a meeting. Maybe Tony Clark will, maybe ring Rob Manfred's bell. I doubt it because Rob Manfred is a goon. No disrespect.
You know who isn't having elbow issues right now?
Who's that?
Trevor Bauer. Go get him. Bravos. Go get him.
The moment that I saw that Spencer Strider was going to be put on that IL, I was like, it's Bauer season.
Why isn't this guy getting an opportunity?
That I've tried to answer that. I've tried to figure that out.
We see so many times guys getting second chances here and there, right?
Yeah.
And I don't know. I don't get it. Somebody's going to give it a shot.
You think the MLB is trying to make an example out of him, saying, "Hey, you can't bully us into thinking that you're good," or something like that? I don't know, but I mean, you see it.
You know who the MLB needs to make an example out of?
Who's that?
I speak no English. I don't know what you're talking about. Ohtani. He bet on baseball. There's no doubt in my mind.
How do you just completely
because he's the face of MLB, baby.
That's why he's the poster boy.
They're trying to figure out what to do about it.
He's the poster boy. $4.5 million, and you're telling me that if you make, I don't care if you're making $50 million a year, your accountants or somebody who handles your finances, you don't know that there's $4.5 million just missing, and then his translator just falls on his sword. Just say, "Hey man, sorry dog, you got to take this loss. Why don't you just go ahead and we will just say that you just walked away."
Go see what Pete Rose has to say about this.
Oh, man. He said, "Man, I should have had an interpreter."
Yeah, that was hilarious.
Should have had an interpreter, But I think that they should make an example out of Ohtani. And the thing is the investigation is kind of dying down.
Of course.
So, Rob Manfred, you need to be gone as soon as your contract is gone. And you know who I think should be the next commissioner of baseball? Theo Epstein.
Okay.
Theo, you hear this? Listen to 60 Feet, 6 Inches. Watch it. Listen. Theo Epstein. Good baseball guy. Solid guy, But I don't know what the MLB is going to do about these injuries because they're so significant. And thankfully, they're in groups. If they're just random throughout the season, Commish, then they won't buy that and say it's an injury epidemic.
We should do a analysis, just us, from 60 feet, 6 inches of the last 5 years.
Okay.
Of guys that have gone and had to get Tommy John elbow.
Okay. Right.
And see what their average fastball mile per hour was. See what other pitches they threw. And then see if, certain guys throwing high heat are more just,
prone to injury.
Yep. And they probably are.
I'm sure. Jacob deGrom is a perfect example. Justin Verlander's not, because once he got it replaced at 39, he came back and won a Cy Young.
Well, that usually happens when you get it replaced. You're a little bit stronger.
Exactly.
So, Spencer, get healthy, and we'll see you throwing 105 next year.
110, baby. I think that.
Do you also think somebody like Spencer, how he takes care of his body and whatnot, that he'll have a quicker recovery time?
Yes, but it also, on the other end of that, it kind of worries me because he does take so good care of his body. It makes more sense because of his arm slot from the extra pitch, but
his arm's so wound up, right?
Yes.
Like in shape.
Exactly. So it's
so maybe he needs to go and take some time off at the beach, drink some beers, get a little beer belly on him.
Yeah. I mean, he stretches as long
keep
as
his Quadzilla legs.
Yes. Please.
Can you imagine that? The new look, Spencer Strider. Quadzilla with a big old beer belly.
They're going to have certain kind of pants designed just for Spencer Strider.
My God.
Where they have like the mesh around the legs and then just the tight near the ankles.
He was pitching the other night, and I was with my buddy, and we were watching the game, and it's insane how muscly he is, right?
Yeah.
And he's getting ready to throw a pitch, and dadgummit, they're showing the camera view from center, and I'm watching. We're at some bar or something watching, and I just not even thinking, go, man, look at those legs. And he looks at me and goes, what? I'm like, whoops, sorry. No, I mean,
2 tree trunks. It's like Michael Tucker on the mound.
Oh my gosh,
that's funny.
Specimen.
That's funny. He is, yeah, and he's going to be missed in the rotation.
He will be.
Atlanta's got a lot of options though. Brought up Adam Winans, and then Ronaldo Lopez. I mean, he's just doing his thing, just absolutely lights out.
So they can putting Winans in the rotation, or is he going to be?
Unless you bring up maybe
they wouldn't have brought him up if they didn't put him in, right?
Yep,
good.
Exactly.
I picked him up on my fantasy team just for the heck of it.
And a baby. Everybody take notes. Take notes.
My fantasy team's
got
struggling right now.
But other than the the Tommy J pandemic and stuff like that, I mean, there has been a couple things roaming around baseball, like Steven Strasburg. He's decided to hang it up, which, I mean,
he decided to hang it up a long time ago.
I thought he was gone in 2020.
That guy ever finished the season?
He did in 19.
That was it?
Well, I mean, earlier.
I mean, seriously.
Earlier times.
Not many.
Not many, no. I mean, lifetime, he's got 113 wins, 62 losses. I mean, 3.2 ERA lifetime, pitched over 1,400 innings.
Yeah, but how many years was he in the league?
13.
And how many innings?
1,400.
Think about that. That's not many, dude.
No, it's not, because the last 4 years, it
just
was
barely over 100 innings.
Yeah, mm-hmm.
Average.
I know. And
Major League Baseball players are pitching over 200 innings nowadays.
Shame is he had 1,700 strikeouts, and he's got a World Series. 19, he was the World Series MVP. That was the Steven Strasburg that I guess he was hoping for.
He has to be one of the most disappointing guys that just couldn't get it out of the injury bug.
I would say either him or Anthony Rendon if he don't turn it around.
True.
But I mean, he was he had nerve damage, thoracic outlet syndrome, a lot of stuff like that. So he finally decided to hang it up because he'd made pretty good amount of statements in the past about him not even being able to move. He said not even baseball activities.
Yeah, that's tough. But he made some pretty good money.
I mean, the dude's I think he's still owed like $107 million, But speaking of $107 million, guess what? The A's are not even worth that. The A's aren't even the Oakland A's anymore. They're
Las Vegas A's, right?
They're starting, so from 2025 to 2027, they're going to be in Sacramento.
What?
Playing at the Giants AAA field.
Sacramento. The AAA field? Can they sell that out?
I think there's going to be more AAA Giants fans than anything. So the A's will no longer be called the Oakland Athletics. They will go by just the Athletics or the A's with no city designation.
Oh my
gosh. How embarrassing.
So how are they going to put that in the standings on ESPN, like baseball standings?
They're going to be in a
athletics
category by themselves. They're not even in the division anymore. They're just special teams down here.
I would use a bad word, but
yeah,
the crappy division.
Yes.
I could use a different word, but
what does Billy B say? Then there's 50 feet of crap, and then there's us. Right. So, I mean, they're going to be the Sacramento River Cats A's, pretty much. And this is so funny because John Fisher, the owner, he actually thinks that people care what he says because now I think the fans want to ring him up, to be honest. But he says, we look forward to making Sutter Health Park our home throughout our move to Las Vegas. We extend our appreciation to the Kings and the city of West Sacramento for hosting the A's, while we work to complete our new ballpark in Las Vegas. Is that even happening?
No.
I don't even know. Nobody knows if that's really actually happening. I mean, we played around with the idea, New Jersey, stuff like that, expansion team, but is that even really happening?
I don't know. Whatever.
Yeah.
All I know is AA, Alex Anthopoulos, keep in touch with the A's.
Yeah.
Because every time one of them does fairly well, we go and snatch him.
It's funny.
Thank you. We love Matt Olson. Thank you. We love Sean Murphy.
Yes, we do. One of our guys that we actually gave up to get Matt Olson, Shea Langoliers, he had 3 bombs last night. And he's a good catcher from LSU, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, good catcher. But I would rather have Murphy.
And Darno.
Absolutely.
Good combo.
Yeah, absolutely. But, I saw, like the the MLB has introduced new jerseys and stuff like that, new fancy threads.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my gosh.
Like City Connect jerseys, is that what you're talking about?
I saw, have you seen
Which
the Phillies?
one? Yes. Those were sweet.
Okay, I'm going to look at the camera right now. Those are so terrible.
You think so?
Yes.
Get out of here. It's because it's the Phillies. You don't like them.
No.
I thought they were one of the coolest things.
Oh, my gosh. I thought that they were, like, they're worse than Nationalist Cherry Blossom Festival.
Really?
Yes.
It was like that navy blue with light blue type of thing, right?
Almost like those,
I thought it was sweet, dude.
Those old New Balances back in the day where they have, like, the faded blue and then the light blue.
I liked it.
I think that they should have had, like, the cream and then red. You know, like
I thought they were sort of cool.
Like the old, like, Kurt Schilling days, you know what I mean? Tug McGraw kind of days, you know?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Tug McGraw.
Yeah.
Those of you that like country music, Tim McGraw. That's his son.
His son.
By the way.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. I went skydiving. But,
man, sons of big-time athletes.
I know.
Congrats to, from this past weekend, Cody Rhodes.
Cody Rhodes.
This is complete. Right. Going WWE on 60 feet 6 inches.
There we go.
Cody Rhodes, the boy of Dusty Rhodes.
Yeah.
The American
Dusty Rhodes.
Dream becomes the WWE champion.
And Sting.
But anyway.
You know, Sting retired. You know that?
Yeah, I don't know all
Sting
that
is
stuff.
the man. The icon. Stinger. But anyways, I thought that the jerseys were terrible. I think the hats look bad. Now, actually, well, the hats with the bell on look okay. But I don't know about these jerseys.
Chime in,
man.
comment on this if you like the Phillies City Connect. If you haven't seen them, go look them up.
All that good stuff. Yeah.
I thought they were cool. I thought they were one of the best I've seen.
They're pretty bad. But anyways, that's okay. That's okay, Commish.
Probably because the guy that they sampled in them is Bryce Harper. And you were probably like, I don't like Bryce either. But
well, I mean,
the unis are,
and
I don't know. I thought they were sweet.
The Fanatics, like the quality, like the names on the back are tiny.
Yeah.
You could see them. These guys on the Yankees look like they were working in a sweatshop. Like you could see the perspiration coming like under the arms and stuff like that. It's not that majestic quality anymore. It's that Fanatics Walmart.
So when they wear those, does the Philly Fanatic wear one?
I bet he does. I bet he does. And those things are terrible.
Best mascot ever?
Or Mr. Padre.
Mr. Padre or San Diego Chicken back in the day?
Well, the San Diego Chicken was good too.
Oh, he was really good.
Well, yeah, I would probably say the Philly Fanatic. Yeah.
Didn't like Bleacher Creature? Anybody remember Bleacher Creature, the Braves?
Yeah.
Little green dude.
Chief Nakahoma.
He wasn't a mascot, though.
I mean, he used to do little dances around the pitcher's mound.
His real name is Levi. I forget what it is.
He just recently passed away.
He recently passed away.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. He should have his statue right there. He
should, dude.
Walking with his teepee.
Man, that was so cool when he'd run out, sprint out from his teepee.
Yep, that's why the Braves had the screaming
after
Indian
doing
logo.
Whatever he was doing in his teepee, sprinting out to the mound, doing a little dance around it before the first pitch.
He had
then
fog
sprinting
in there,
back.
a fog machine in there.
Fog machine.
But I don't know about these. I don't know what MLB's going to do about these future jerseys. I hope they do something.
They only wear them a little bit, right?
No.
What do you mean? No?
These are the new jerseys. I'm not talking about the City Connect. I'm talking about the quality of the Fanatics jerseys. How they look awful.
So they're not the City Connects?
No, not the City Connects. On the back of the jerseys, they have their name.
Yeah, the names are bad. It looks like little. The Braves have that too. If you notice,
every team has that. They have a new contract with Fanatics, so all the jerseys that you're getting are like the off-brand. They're like cheap quality. Where like some guy will get the Miami Dolphins and it'll say the Miami Dolphins. Or if somebody gets like fake Jordans, they've got a guy playing tennis instead of jumping toward the hoop. You know what I mean? It's like that.
Okay.
Like it feels like that terrible quality. But I mean, I hope that the MLB is going to do something about this because they should, because it's atrocious and it's hideous, and but it's just the first week, Commish. I'm getting a little ahead of myself.
I know.
I'm getting antsy.
Like I said, only 150 more to go. WHIT.
Right. Oh my gosh.
It goes by pretty quick though. During the summer, it gives us something to watch.
That's true. Yep.
And it's fun to watch your Braves.
It is.
I mean, I'm trying not to get too excited like I did last year.
It's tough.
Man, their offense is insane.
I know. Every guy hits.
It guarantees that they're in every game.
Yes.
And don't be surprised come trade deadline if we try to get another pitcher. But I'll tell you what, if Fried can come around, we'll be just fine.
And we will sign him cheap.
Chris Sale has been really good.
Competitor.
Charlie Morton has been consistent. And like you said, Ronaldo Lopez, I really like him, dude.
He throws strikes.
Yeah.
Nothing fancy. He doesn't throw, he throws 96, 97, but the way that he pitched in Chicago, especially in that cold weather, that's what I saw. And of course, last night against the Mets, and I've noticed that the Mets, I truly believe that they can be a good team. I just don't know their identity. I don't know. They've got so much talent.
Not going to be a good team.
I'm just saying, like, they can't even figure out who they are, Like, they're so confused. They're just going out there just playing instead of, thinking about it. Pete Alonso is one of the goofiest guys on the planet.
They should change their team name to the New York Weirdos.
Right. I mean, not a knock on this guy personally, but he's a goofy guy.
He's goofy.
Yes.
And you got Brandon Nimmo.
Hitting 2 bombs.
Yeah, 2 bombs. But have you ever seen, if anybody wants to see something pretty hilarious, number one, how many guys you see wear their dadgum pants up to their knees anymore? Number 2, if he draws a walk, it's called a walk for a reason.
He's sprinting.
You don't have to walk, and you could jog down to first. This dude immediately drops his bat and sprints to first.
Hard 90.
What are you doing? Jeff McNeil, he's another weirdo.
Yeah. He's a crybaby.
Oh my gosh.
His long little knob.
You know what? With the new rule about you can't block the base at second anymore, you obviously can tell the teams that worked on this stuff. The Braves have worked on it. Ozzy's got it down.
Yes, he does.
His positioning, where he's not in front of the bag, but he's making guarding the tags.
Right, exactly.
Man, it's nice.
Yeah, with that play that Rhys Hoskins had against the Mets, and then Jeff McNeil was crying about it and stuff like that, and then Rhys Hoskins ended up hitting a homer. But I thought, if you compare the game now, back then it may seem like it's a dirty slide, but to be honest, you're trying to break up the double play. That's the idea. You're not trying to go out there and break anybody's leg.
No.
It's not like it's going to be like Will Clark against Ozzie Smith or something like that, or Chase Utley against
Will the Thrill, baby.
Right. Chase Utley against Jose with the Mets, where he broke his ankle. That may be a little bit exaggerating, but most of the time these guys are just trying to break up the double play, and that's what.
Yeah. So,
it's good that they've got a wider bag so players can stay, be safer. But still, I mean, it's the point of the game.
I know we've been jumping sort of all over the place, and that's my fault. Getting you off line of what you're talking about today.
That's okay.
But did you see the rumors about potentially at trade deadline time of the Mike Trout rumors?
I did see that. Mm-hmm.
What would we do if he did come to Atlanta? Where would you put him?
Left field.
Poor Kelnick. What do you do with him?
Sorry, Kelnick. It's Mike Trout.
Yeah.
And Mike Trout is actually playing well right now.
10 home runs in the last 10 games.
And then freaking Tyler O'Neill. Tyler O'Neill is going, yeah.
How are they doing in their division?
They're okay. I mean, but I think that the best thing for O'Neill to do was to leave St. Louis.
You got to cheer for them a little bit because our boys over there.
Yeah.
Got to love Ron Washington.
Yeah, you got to love Ron. But
sorry, off topic.
No,
now
you're okay.
We can move on.
Anthony Rendon got his first hit the other day, and the fans went nuts. He ran out a little legged out a single and went crazy and stuff like that. But I mean, he's getting paid like $36-38 million. And this guy, whenever he was with the Nationals, was a great piece to come in. That's okay. And now he's coming somewhere else where he's getting money, and sometimes injuries happen, this and that. But you got to stay on the field, man. Like I saw an interview with Giancarlo Stanton, and he's starting to hit a little bit better. He said, I had to drop a lot of the weight. He said, you're getting older, which he cannot run at all. You got to drop the weight. You have to stay more active and be what Spencer Strider does, be more flexible. So you can prevent less injuries, But this arm injury thing I'm telling you, Commish, it is weird.
Man, it's killing some people's fantasy teams too.
speaking of fantasy, we had a listener previous show wanted to talk fantasy, so we are going to spend the rest of the time of the show.
Yeah, first of all, we want to apologize to that listener because we aren't covered in fantasy before his draft, probably.
No, I apologize about that. Yeah, but you could drop some guys now, right, and pick them up.
You can.
A little waiver wire,
It's a little bit tougher in my league because we have 10 teams.
Right.
We have, the way it works is our roster is 2 catchers, first, second, short, third, corner infield, middle infield, 4 outfielders, utility. Okay. 4 starters, 3 relievers, and a pitcher.
Okay.
It's a lot of guys.
Perfect.
But here's the day. It's only National League only.
Okay.
So it makes it a little bit more difficult.
Okay. I like that. Okay. So we're going National League. Okay. So I've got all of my players lined up with their position number.
Oh, so you're ranking by position number.
Right. So I'm going.
And that's probably almost impossible to get all these guys, right? Especially like in a 10-team league.
I mean, these right here, the ones I've got.
Yeah, we get to freeze also 5 guys.
Yes. Oh, okay. Wow.
And so you get to freeze each. Well, this league, this is the 30th year I think I've been in it. So you freeze 5 guys. It can be, you have to at least freeze 2 hitters and 2 pitchers. So your 5th guy can go either way.
Closer.
Or 6 guys. 6
like
guys. 6 guys, I think. Yeah.
So I've got, we'll go with my bullpen and starters first.
Okay.
Like that. All right. So, and these, obviously, these were personal picks that I had to make late only because of injuries of pitchers, So I've got 4 starters in no particular order.
Okay.
Zach Wheeler.
Okay.
Zach Gallen.
Yep. Arizona.
Okay. All right. And I've got to have,
We're going National League
we're going National League, yeah. So I had Corbin Burns in there.
Not no more.
Tyler Glass now.
Oh, yeah.
Especially after last night, 14 Ks. And then I got Chris Sale.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Ooh.
And then my bullpen is Hader, Edwin Diaz, and Pierce Johnson.
Oh, what?
Yeah. I had Emmanuel Clase, but he's with the Guardians.
All right.
Pierce Johnson is nasty.
Well, unfortunately,
I was going to put Jesse Chavez in there.
With my fantasy team, I have none of those.
Really?
So on my team, now again, going back 10 teams.
Right.
I froze 2 pitchers. I froze a starter and a reliever. Max Fried.
Okay.
Raciel Iglesias.
I was debating with him.
That was a hard one to decide on. I really didn't have any other pitchers. So Fried was an easy one to keep, and he hasn't done anything for me this year. Come on, Maxie.
It's okay, Maxie.
And Iglesias been pretty good until last night, even though he got me a save.
That was a little scary.
Yeah. So
that's not bad. That's pretty good.
So you go on to your
reliable.
You know who I did pick up as a pitcher, which I think could argue about being on that list. Who's Arizona's second guy?
Fat.
Nope. Kelly.
Carson Kelly.
No, Marvin. Isn't it Marvin Kelly? Or is it Carson? I thought it was
Carson.
Marvin. I don't know. He's been really good.
Names. Yeah. Okay.
You have to check him out.
I like that. Okay.
But yeah, so that's my.
What about your lineup?
Regular hitting team? Mm-hmm. Well, let me start by saying this. My team name.
Disclosure.
My team name. Hakuna Matata.
Oh, that's funny. Hakuna Matata.
So you sort of guess who I have on my team.
Oh, yeah.
Which last year was amazing.
Tell me who you got.
Well, like I said, I have Ronald in the outfield.
That's it? He's running the whole outfield?
All right, so in our league, 2 catchers.
Okay.
And I've done really well on this.
I know who your catcher is.
Who?
Will Smith.
No, yep, I have Will Smith. And then I usually do this, like the guys always wait, like in our league, to pick up their catchers late, which can hurt you. If you have to get 2 catchers in a 10-team league, that means 20 catchers. They don't have that many starting.
No.
So some teams will get there where, like I have Will Smith, and he can outstat some teams that have 2 catchers.
Right.
So when it gets down to it, I always try to get another starter, like, not late rounds, but when I can. I got Campusano.
Oh, okay.
He's having a really good year so far.
That's good.
San Diego.
Really good. Yeah,
that's my 2 catchers.
I got I've got Travis Darno, and then
are you kidding me?
And then Will Smith.
Darno.
Yeah,
you're a Braves homer.
No,
Darno is not even a top 10 catcher.
A lot of my picks were AL. I didn't know we were just going NL.
Oh yeah, okay.
So that was on the fly.
Okay.
And Will Smith.
Oh yeah, Will Smith. How could you forget?
And Patrick Bailey from the Giants.
Yeah, you're picking these guys though after the season started, so you're sort of picking the guys that are hot, right?
No, not necessarily.
Who am I forgetting? Who's the catcher for the St. Louis?
Oh, Contreras.
Yeah, Contreras. Not that Contreras. The other Contreras. He's Milwaukee.
Oh yeah, Milwaukee.
That used to be a Brave. And then who's the big name catcher?
His brother Contreras.
Phillies catcher.
Oh, JT.
Yeah, Real Muto.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I forgot Real Muto. Yeah, that's a big error by me. JT.
That's okay.
Yeah.
But Will Smith is always consistent.
Mm-hmm. First base, I got Matt Olson, of course.
Sure.
And Freddie.
Sure.
Second, that's pretty easy. Ozzy.
That's the first baseman's one position that I really struggled with because I didn't have anybody, and everybody freezes first baseman. And so I was like, oh crap.
Rowdy Tellez.
The top 8 are like gone, right?
Mm-hmm.
But somebody had a team where they couldn't freeze everybody. So I picked him up early, and he really hit. I know he's getting sort of at that point where he's not consistent with what he's been doing in the past, but I got Paul Goldsmith.
That's solid.
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay.
Yeah, he's all right.
So that's my first
MVP,
baseman. Yeah, first baseman.
Who's your second baseman?
It's either one or 2 guys. I think. Oh, Bryson Stott, Philly.
Mm-hmm.
It's okay.
Yeah.
It's not Ozzy.
It's not? Why not?
I wish I had Ozzy. He's up there.
One of those frozen players?
Yeah, for sure.
Of course.
Because he's probably on your list for sure.
Oh, yeah. Third base.
Third base I'm struggling too. Don't get me wrong, Austin Riley's the best.
Yeah.
Who do I have at third? It's pretty bad. Candelario.
I mean, he's not terrible.
Yeah. We'll see what happens.
I have I'd probably go with either Austin or Nolan.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, frozen guys. And I had Jose Ramirez, in the AL, and I think I'm torn in between having Jose and Riley, only because Jose's a switch hitter, good hitter also, but Riley's. I mean, if Acuna doesn't have the same season which he had last year, which I think he will,
you better get going.
I think that Riley actually might be a pretty good candidate for an MVP. Because Riley's been doing consistent over the years.
Yep. What about shortstop? You sort of skipped that, didn't you?
I did. Well, only because we're going by position.
Okay,
yeah.
I see what you're saying.
I've got Trey Turner.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
Yeah. Or in the AL, Bobby Witt.
Sure.
That's pretty much it. But
so I had to go with guy from San Diego, Kim.
Hassan Kim?
Yeah, he's pretty good, man.
He is solid.
He's good. So he plays multiple positions in my fantasy. I think he can play second or short, right? Exactly. So he's helped out a lot in that spot. So that's been a good pick up.
And he's a good hitter too. Solid guy.
There's a good bit of shortstops to go out of. De La Cruz.
Yeah.
Be considered shortstop.
Mm-hmm.
Dansby. I don't know what type of year he's having right now.
I don't know. Mookie Betts.
Yeah. There's another one. You played Mookie at second, too.
Yeah,
fantasy.
Yep.
But, I think you got to look. You can't get all these top-notch tier fantasy guys. You got to look mid-range, whose potential is solid.
I'm interested to see who your outfield is.
Well, everybody knows one from my team name. I got Ronald Acuna.
Mm-hmm.
I got Fraley from Cincinnati.
Oh, okay.
It's been all right, but he hasn't been playing much, so I don't know what's going on there. I need to check that out.
Yeah.
Yeah, my team's just not that good this year. But I think it's just because most of my guys are slow going.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I got...
There's not a lot of outfielders in the National League, actually. How do we forget first baseman Bryce Harper, dude?
He could be. A DH.
You just don't like those Phillies.
No, it's not that.
It's okay.
He can be a DH.
Yeah, you are. You named every single position a Braves player. Did you have RCA on your top 3 list?
I did not. I did not. But I had so my outfield was Acuna, Michael Harris.
There you go again.
And then,
yeah. No, I agree with that though.
And then
Kelnick. Well, I think with Kelnick, you would be saying that right now. That guy's batting like 600. He would have been one of those that you picked up late rounds, right? That's going to make you win your fantasy team, possibly.
Yeah, especially if somebody's trying to come home and he guns them out at home, But if we had...
You could possibly... Well, you know what? You could argue, even though he's our DH, he's listed as an outfielder, Marcell Ozuna.
I've got him down.
There you got all 3 Braves. Nice. Oh, man.
Oh, my gosh. We got to do more of these morning shows. Oh, my gosh. I got Ohtani in there, too.
Yeah, okay.
Can be thrown in the outfield.
Yeah, you have to. Yeah.
But I think that's a pretty solid pick. Now, these are all
top picks.
Yeah, top picks. They're not going to be available. A lot of the picks that I have are very, I would say, biased picks, but only because I know what players can do, especially if they're around around the same guys that they like, stuff like that. Like I talked about clubhouse morality. Has a lot to do with how the talent can be torn out of somebody or picked out of somebody. But
I think if you're looking to solidify your fantasy team, I would always look like middle to late rounds. Look at those teams that are up and coming with young guys.
Pirates.
Bingo. I have Reynolds.
Brian Reynolds is good.
But you can pick up some guys that are sort of young and getting in the game. Corbin Carroll, obviously. He's up there anyway.
Ke'Bryan Hayes.
Yeah. Ke'Bryan Hayes from Pittsburgh. You can pick up some of those guys that can make a difference.
If you've got an AL team.
Especially in that NL Central.
Yeah. Jackson Holiday just got activated today.
Yeah, with Baltimore.
Pick him up,
if you have opportunities with American League. Absolutely.
Right. Now, how does one determine whether do y'all just pick it's a National League or an American League?
That's the way we've done it.
Okay.
Which is sort of cool. I like that because the guys I play with was one of my college roommates, and he lives up in the Virginia area near Baltimore. So he's sort of an Oriole and a Nationals fan.
Yeah.
And all those guys up there are all like mostly American League guys, or the Eastern Coast guys. Yeah. So they're like
Boston Yankees.
Not a lot of them. A lot of them are Orioles or Pirates, people like that, which is sort of cool. So it doesn't really give me an advantage, but I'm a big Braves homer.
Yeah, absolutely. So, I want to go to PNC Park bad. Like so bad.
I heard it's one of the best, right?
It's got to be.
Pittsburgh, for those of you that don't know what's talking about.
Yeah. I think a couple of
what are your top 5 parks that you haven't been to that you'd like to go to?
We had an episode with that.
Did we?
Everybody go back and listen to early
that you haven't been to that you'd like to go to.
Current or non-current?
Current. You can't go to a non-current.
Comiskey
The
Park.
Question was, which 5 would you like to go to?
PNC.
That's in Pittsburgh. Definitely agree with that.
Petco Park, San Diego.
Absolutely.
Giants Stadium.
Whatever
it's called now.
Yeah.
Cellular Field.
That would be a good one.
Let's see. What else? Fenway, of course.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, that's historical, yeah.
I don't know about Yankee Stadium. I wouldn't turn it down. I've been to Citi Field.
Have you not been to many fields?
I have.
You've been to Citi? That's Cincinnati, right?
Citi? No, that's the Mets.
Oh.
I went to Shea Stadium also while they're building Citi Field. I've been to RFK Stadium.
Okay.
That was whenever they first had the Nationals expansion team. Let's see, where else? Great American Ballpark.
That's Cincy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be okay. And then Dodger Stadium.
Yeah, of course.
What about you?
So Camden Yards.
Yeah, Camden Yards.
It's getting a little bit older, but that was one of the sort of the cool ones.
The gate.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. For sure, like you said, PNC, Pittsburgh. Mm-hmm. I think I'd like, even though the stadium, I don't know about the stadium, but the atmosphere and the passion for baseball with somebody like St. Louis.
Yeah, Busch Stadium.
Yeah. Like I said, San Diego, LA.
We're forgetting one.
What's that? How's Milwaukee's new stadium? Is that outdoor? That is, isn't it?
No.
It's not?
Texas Rangers new stadium. That's indoor. I want to see that.
Yeah, my buddy went to the Rangers series last year, which is sort of cool if you wanted to start doing this trend, especially with the way Major League Baseball has it now. You have to play everybody. Mm-hmm. So you get some good road trips. And you could look at a Braves schedule and plan a weekend or a 3-day week trip and go see a couple games. San Diego is definitely an easy one to go to on that list.
That's right.
I think we were looking, because I got a buddy that did it, and he went to Texas last year. Had a really good time. I think we were looking, okay, what kind of road trips would be pretty cool with our road schedule?
Right.
Milwaukee was one that was sort of cool.
Yeah.
Go up there, especially if it's in decent weather time.
Exactly. Yeah. At Coors Field, I like to go to Coors Field.
Oh, yeah.
See some mountains.
Yep.
See some balls hit far, you know. But yeah.
You could go to the Blue Mountain, too.
There we go. Hey, I like me some Blue Moon. That's pretty good.
Not Blue Moon. You knew freaking Blue Mountain, folks. What does going to the mountains mean? A Blue Mountain, not Blue Moon. Coors Light, baby. Coors Light. Blue baby. Moon. Are you kidding me? You like funny. The little orange on your glass too, WHIT? Oh, my gosh. When I was in
Colorado, I had Coors Light on draft, and it was actually pretty good on draft. Tastes great because it's
WHIT likes his Blue Moon and White Claw. Oh, my gosh.
Oh, man. See, my Rockies are blue, baby, especially on the can, you know.
That's what I was saying. Go to the mountain.
Yeah,
it's funny. I was helping my buddy get rid of a lot of stuff in his house. He had a dumpster and stuff.
Oh gosh!
Yeah, I mean, it's brutal. I got to work out carrying freaking sleeper sofas and taking an axe to them and freaking all kinds of stuff. Making right?
Kindle wood over there.
I swear, every time we started, I'm like, "You ready to go to the mountains?"
Blue Mountains.
No, Blue Moon, please. Oh, my gosh. You drive your Subaru, too?
No, my Prius.
There you go. Visit Asheville, North Carolina a lot. Sorry. Some people are probably like,
there a couple times.
I know.
So I went to the Biltmore one time. That was pretty cool.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Where all the Vanderbilts, like their 11, 13 children. You know, George Vanderbilt III builds his colossal of a house. First house with indoor plumbing. It's got a bowling alley. It's got a pool in there. You know?
No longer calling him WHIT, folks. We're calling him granola.
And I've got some off topic. I got some stories about that Biltmore mansion. But anyways, not on this podcast.
Haunted, right?
Yeah. Well, no, I mean not.
That's what they say.
There's
I've heard. It's sort of beautiful during Christmas time, but it's a little bit spooky too.
I'm telling you, man, the house itself has so many doors and stairways, elevators, crazy stuff.
Yeah, don't get lost in there.
Right. Whoa. Like 40 bedrooms or something like that. It's crazy, you know. But anyways. But I mean, that'll pretty much about wrap up our show today, Commish, you know. I mean, episode's 21 here and gone. Got a lot of exciting things happening during the season. It's baseball season again, but everybody's getting hurt. So, I mean, our UCL'S are still intact. It's a good thing.
Right.
You know? But
can lift up those blue moons still.
Anyways, thanks for joining 60 feet 6 inches. Episode 21 is coming to a close. Keep your grass green and your pants dirty. So long, everybody.